Wednesday after the Wolves game, I think I know Mikel Arteta before the game said that it doesn't matter when the other team that you're challenging for the title plays first, but it really does. I mean, City having to sort of get their points on the board on a Saturday and then Arsenal have to follow them on a Sunday does add that pressure for Arsenal. And I think it's been a really good week for them in 2 games that are quite difficult. The North London derby, obviously Tottenham aren't playing well, but they still have to go there and do a job under pressure after the Wolves game. The physical strength, the experience of the last 3 years of losing it. I mean, they surely have to sort of look upon what's happened in the last 3 years. They know this is going to be hard work. They've got 10 more weeks of paying these Arsenal fans, watching in the crowd, watching at home, halfway up across that stand and say they haven't won the league for 22 years. And they've got to try and get rid of that. And in the last 3 years, they've been up against, obviously, City and Liverpool, and it's been obviously tough for them, and they've lost out in those battles. And call upon the experiences that they've had. Dig deep. Then the complication for them, Dave, is they've got 4 trophies to try and go at. And you can't throw away a Champions League, you can't throw away a Carabao Cup final. You know, you've got to go for every single trophy. So how Mikel Arteta rotates, how he uses his squad, how he stays clear of injury is going to be important.
Could you have a view on that in terms of what should be their priorities, if indeed it does come to that?
I play your best team. The Champions League, you've got to go and play your best team, and obviously the Premier League, you've got FA Cups. You know, they do give a little bit of respite for Mikel Arteta to take a risk, and that might be the competition that they do sort of falter in, maybe slightly. Obviously they've got Mansfield, so they'll probably get across the line in that one. But as it goes through, that'll be the one that I think might fall by the wayside.
Gary, you've been there, you've been in this position, you'll remember it very well. Of course, you went on to win multiple titles, but this first one, is it different? Is this going to be a case this evening of in this dressing room, they're going to be concerned about a performance?
For such a long time now, it is impossible to play every 3 or 4 days and play at a high level from a performance perspective. It just is impossible. So getting over the line and getting games out under your belt and wins under your belt when you're actually doing that is something that's quite important. They've got that in them to be able to do it. And look, I have to say that the first title that I won was in 95, 96. So the one thing that you would say is that who is the person in that dressing room that's settling everybody down, that's composing them? We had a lot of experienced winners when we were winning it for the first time, and it is hard work, but I do think they'll get there. The experience of the last 3 or 4 years, I think, will just be enough for them.
Gary, thank you very much. That's an interesting point. We'll perhaps expand on that to here, but we'll let you go for now.
Even though they've not gone down to 10 men in some of those, but you look at Chelsea going down to 10 men and they seem to, obviously they played with a little bit more freedom, but at the same time you'd have thought that Arsenal would have been more organised to try and get amongst them, drop off them, get the ball and then break into the areas where they can. But it just seems very, I don't know, very fragile. You know, I felt it. I mean, in the studio, I felt it. But like, in the end, they got over the line. But it's something that they've got to be worried about because we're not finishing off games. We're not finishing off chances in the first half. I thought there were opportunities for people to take first-time shots or take the shots quicker.
And what would we do if it happens again? And they showed there that they were very nervous again. And it was one that they, as we said before, they got over the line. And you've got to do that. If you're going to win the league, if they're going to win the league over 38 games, you can't play pure every single game. But when your opponents, you know, go down to 10 men and you're leading the game,
At home,
that's a different scenario.
Is that not understandable, given the fact that they're there to be shot at? They haven't got over the line yet in previous seasons.
Yeah, but Steve, you prepared better for it mentally because what you're seeing in every game, whether it's against Wolves or Manchester City, there's a period in the second half that everything seems to go out the window, and our goalkeeper ends up saving everything for us. And I don't think it should be like that with the amount of experience we've got.
Put their foot off the gas against Wolves. They're 2-0 up. 2-0 up in the second half, and suddenly their performance went completely downhill. Whether they thought they had won the game and we'd wrapped it up, it's only Wolves.
Despite Arsenal securing an important victory over Chelsea in their latest Premier League meeting, the post-match conversation has been dominated by VAR controversy rather than the result itself. Former Gunners boss Arsene Wenger has now weighed in, and he did not mince his words. Arsenal ultimately got the 3 points in what was another tightly fought London derby, continuing their strong run in the title race. However, a major flashpoint arrived midway through the second half when an Arsenal forward appeared to be clearly brought down inside the Chelsea penalty area. Players immediately appealed, the crowd erupted, and replays quickly flooded social media showing what many supporters insist was obvious contact. Yet after a VAR check, the referee's original decision stood: no penalty. Even with Arsenal going on to win the match, the moment has sparked widespread debate about the consistency of video officiating in the Premier League. Wenger, speaking in his post-match analysis, made it clear that the result does not excuse what he believes was a serious officiating failure. It doesn't matter if Arsenal won, Wenger said. When there is a clear error and VAR does not intervene, that is a problem. For me, this is a disgrace. The former manager, who spent over 2 decades in charge of Arsenal, stressed that VAR was introduced specifically to eliminate obvious mistakes in decisive moments. According to him, incidents like this only deepen mistrust among fans and clubs. When you slow it down and look from multiple angles, you struggle. To justify the decision, Wenger continued, VAR must bring clarity and fairness. If people leave the stadium still confused, then the system is not working as intended. The incident has divided pundits. Some analysts argue the contact may not have met the clear and obvious threshold required for VAR to overturn the on-field call. Others insist that the technology is being applied too cautiously, allowing major decisions to slip through. Arsenal supporters, while pleased with the victory, have been vocal online, with many insisting the club was fortunate the missed call did not ultimately cost points. Several fan accounts posted freeze-frame clips claiming the defender made no genuine attempt to win the ball. Meanwhile, Chelsea fans have largely defended the decision, arguing that football remains a contact sport and that slow-motion replays can exaggerate minimal touches. The divide perfectly captures the ongoing uncertainty surrounding VAR interpretation week after week. What is becoming increasingly clear is that even when the right team wins, controversy around officiating continues to overshadow matches. Wenger warned that this trend could damage the league's credibility if not addressed.